'tis Valentine's times now. Right? Valentine's. And as you know, I'm close friends with Spider-Man.
See?
Yes.
Everybody gets one.
Very close. Everybody gets one friend. Spider-Man gets me. I'm his friend. Okay. He sent me Valentine's cards for all of us. And I've handed both Josh and Austin their cards from Spider-Man for Valentine's Day. He's a very friendly neighborhood Valentine's lover. And I had opened mine off air because I was a little worried. Spider-Man gets real randy whenever it gets around Valentine's Day. He really lets it loose to a point to where we may be the only ones experiencing this side of him. Mine were a little too rough for the air, but I hope that yours are okay. So if you guys don't mind...
Can I ask you a personal question?
Please.
Do you know the identity of Spider-Man?
Have you ever seen me and Spider-Man in the same room? That's what I'm
thinking about that one later.
That's still not an answer. So if you guys don't mind, let us know what Spider-Man thinks of you on this Valentine's Day. He wrote all mine in black Sharpie on a dark background on the card, so that made it really hard to read, but hopefully you guys can get through it.
It's the card says, "Let's swing, Valentine."
Okay.
And the caption he wrote in black Sharpie says, "I'll be in Tiny's dungeon."
Okay. So that kind of swing.
Okay.
All right. Yeah.
What Spider-Man did here was actually just covered up. So the word that he covered was walls.
Okay.
He changed one letter.
Yeah.
And I'm going to just read it as if it were written the way that Spider-Man changed it. It says, "I'm climbing the balls for you, Valentine."
Damn,
what a
Spidey.
good friend.
Spidey getting raunchy. I'm excited to open up my
I told
next.
you, he's a dirty boy.
I'm excited to open up my next one.
He gave you guys 5 apiece.
4 more.
Yeah, he really likes us.
Hold on a second
really
here.
forward.
Okay, it says, "I'm climbing the walls for you, Valentine. Hope I don't accidentally fall into your mouth."
Better keep it closed when Spidey's climbing around. Oh, no. We had a situation in the past where that almost happened with a good friend of ours.
I was asleep on the couch, and he thought he would... our friend Trent thought he would wake me up just by posing naked on the back of the couch to wake me up. And then I woke up, and I was like, "Ha!" And then he tripped, and it just the angle of it was like, "Ha!" And I just...
It was close.
And then he fell, and his wiener went into my...
Wow, I told you he was
Dramatic moment.
He's wild during this time. Josh, what is your next one say?
How do you follow that up? Jeez, I don't think you can. Okay. Instead of covering up something, he added to it. I'll read it as he would like me to read it.
Yeah.
This webhead is rock hard and wishes you a happy Valentine's Day.
What a dirty boy. He does work out a lot, though.
He
So
does.
if you've seen his abs, rock hard. I think that's what he's referring to.
Got me for 3
Oh my
minutes.
gosh, okay. Well, let's see here. It says, "Oh wow, this webhead ain't gonna suck itself."
Oh, Spider-Man. I haven't seen these yet.
Wish you a happy Valentine's Day.
Filthy. Spidey. This is what happened when Stan Lee isn't around. This is what happens.
Yeah.
It's
just unhinged. Oh yeah,
there are quite a few. I told him that we didn't need this many, but
again he's added again.
Yeah.
Spidey wishes you had more lube.
more. Hold on.
That's
more.
it. That's
more.
it. Spidey wishes you had more lube. Happy Valentine's Day.
Oh,
Okay.
wow.
All right, Spidey. I'll make sure your request is granted.
He's a good jokester. What's he got this time?
Okay. Context. Context. He's standing in front of all these enemies.
Mm-hmm.
The card's original context says, "I have your back."
Yeah.
But Spider-Man's message makes the whole statement, "You don't have a front butt, so can I have your back, Valentine?"
How did he know? Have you met him? How does he know? He's gonna kill you.
Oh my lord.
Oh boy.
Next.
What
Here
a
we go.
sweet man. That's a good open.
You are a super friend, Valentine. So far, so good.
Uh-huh.
How about that reach around?
He's the one always reaching around places, being all spider-like.
Sure is.
He needs the favor returned.
Okay, yeah, fair.
Oh my
Equal time.
And
All right.
here's my final
Is this the
Spider-Man.
Okay.
He says,
Flustered.
erotic asphyxiation is the best. Just hanging around to say Happy Valentine's Day.
Oh no, dude. Wait, do you instead of like a belt?
Oh, yeah.
You think he uses his own?
Absolutely.
All right, last one. Here we go.
I'm broken a little.
Since Mary Jane is into it, let's swing, Valentine.
Okay.
So,
So he's
Spider-Man's
inviting-
offering me a threesome.
Yes.
Mary Jane.
Yes. I haven't spoken with Mary, but if the card says it, it's true.
I'll keep my response between me and Spider-Man.
Okay,
How
that's a
about
good
that? I'll
idea.
just
Yeah,
write
I don't
it
need to
back
relay that
privately.
to him.
Yeah, I mean, it's just
Appreciate the
literally
invitation.
spiderman@gmail.com. That's how you...
Yeah, it really is.
In
It's
case
very
you
basic.
haven't tried
Well,
it
yeah,
yet,
no, I
it
didn't
works.
know.
He had a Rocket Dog one in the past, but I think
Rocket-
that...
Wow,
yeah.
what a throwback,
Yeah,
dude.
but he no longer uses it.
He was originally messaging me on his Hotmail account, but
Wow, that was some hot mail that we just got.
Absolutely.
I'm so
hot
glad.
mail from a hot male to some hot males.
You would know. I've never seen his face.
Yeah, he's a pretty good-looking guy. All right, well, happy Valentine's Day from Spider-Man to all of our listeners and to all of us. I would have had you guys see what mine said, but mine said specifically, "Hey Dane, I want to f your with my inside of my wild."
Wow.
I don't know.
You're gonna have to bleep a
It
lot
was
of that.
wild.
I
Yeah,
think
it
that
was
all they
wild.
heard was a bleep just
Yeah,
then.
it was. It was. Hey everybody, I'm Dane Holland,
I'm Austin Shazam Pfeiffer.
I am Josh Qualls.
and we are Nerded Through the Grapevine, the podcast where four best friends, normally three best friends today, talk about our favorite parts of past, present, and future nerd culture. Sorry, that's really hard to get that part whenever you say it differently than you have for the past 120-some times. What Austin and I did today is we went to the Dollar General.
Yes, the best place.
Only because it's closer to us.
Yeah,
it's
fair.
closer.
The end.
It's closer than any place.
There's a Dollar General everywhere. There's at
to
least
everybody.
2 per-
And I talked to my father about this. A hot take from my father. He said, "Oh, the people that own the Dollar General said that they can open up 5 Dollar Generals and make twice the amount of money that the Walmart can from opening up just one location." And I'm like, I'm not checking your facts, but I think you're probably right.
Believing him and not believing him, same result.
Yes.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't hurt
So
anybody.
I say it's a fuzzy fact, and I'll take it.
Fuzzy fact. I like
So we've got the Dollar General best of selection for Valentine's themed candies.
I feel like I'm in like elementary school again with
The first
barns and
one
candy.
we're going to try here is the Valentine's Day themed Nerd Rope.
Oh.
Because it has the word nerd in it, and so does our podcast.
Tear and share.
I don't want this, by the way.
So
I don't really eat candy very often at all.
So
all of this is not going to be a very good time for me.
tear and share. So I tear and then
Is it going to be licorice?
don't know
Do you
why I
actually
did
tear
those
it?
things I
My hand's gonna get
did.
sticky if I tear it.
Remember how you felt
God.
about them, because at the end we'll see what our favorite.
Also, here's what it looks like.
sorry.
It's a dangly candy bit gum.
If you're watching the video, that's what it looks like.
It's a okay.
You know what?
This isn't bad
I don't hate it.
at all. It tastes like Nerds and a way sweeter and a way more easy to chew. What do you call it? Twizzler.
Twizzler, yeah.
Oh my god, it's like the gummy inside of those crunchies adds moisture to your mouth where the nerds would always just take it all away.
I didn't think I would like this because I don't like Twizzlers, but you don't taste the Twizzler, really. You only taste the nerds. The Twizzler's just there to hold the nerds all together, so you don't end up with them all over the floor whenever you open that tiny little box.
I'm going in for another bite.
Yeah, I think I will too. Okay. All right, there's too much sugar to be had to eat this whole thing.
All right, that's good. I got half of this left. This is going to the wife.
I'm already shaking.
Well, I've got me, myself, and I this Valentine's Day, so this bad boy is going to me.
Just to break up that flavor, Hershey's Kiss. Mm-hmm. I haven't had a Hershey's Kiss in a very long time.
It'll make an excellent palate cleanser.
It will. Hershey's Kiss, you know what they taste like, but if it's been a while, maybe you forgot. Nope. They taste the exact same they always have for my entire life.
This is like a proprietary blend of chocolate product, right?
I think
Like
so.
Not like real chocolate.
I think it's just brown sugar.
Yeah.
I'm more of a dark chocolate fan. But they didn't have those inside the little tube with the heart stopper on the top of it. So that wouldn't count for
Wouldn't be
Valentine's candy.
Yeah.
See, I didn't get to enjoy that the way I typically like to enjoy my Hershey's Kiss, but I usually just like to put the kiss in my mouth and let it just
Put the kiss in your mouth?
Yeah, just put the kiss in my mouth.
We're still in the candy.
Yeah.
My kiss.
Okay.
It's a Red Hot Chili Peppers song.
Yeah, and then just let it melt.
Now, we couldn't find... They didn't have the little ones that have the sayings on it, like the Be Mine and the Kiss Me and the blah, blah, blah.
Little hearts.
They didn't have those. And that's like the Valentine Day candy. So
Conversation hearts.
Conversation hearts. So we are the conversation hearts today since
Were they sold out or
our
they
podcast.
just didn't have
They just didn't have them. Just don't even have them in stock.
Oh, okay, so what's your say on it?
Big time failure.
My sweet tart?
Yeah, what's your message on your
go
sweet
with
tart
it
say?
It says
Since we got to make our own.
butt stuff question mark?
Did you get a pack from Spider-Man?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I think Spidey sent these over too.
Oh, he did. He engraved all these little things
Every
right
single
here.
one.
Yeah.
And Austin has to read all of them right now. Go.
This is not ecstasy.
Oh.
The print is so small.
Mine says actually it is ecstasy.
Does yours have a question mark or an exclamation mark? It could be completely different.
Smarties aren't even good enough to.
Do you guys remember this one of the first viral videos I can think of where this kid's like, I'm going to teach you guys how to smoke Smarties. And he like crushes them up and then pretends to smoke the powder of the Smarties. I saw that as a young child growing up, and I was like, oh, I can't believe he just did that.
So then you did it?
Hell no, I was scared of it.
The next is just a classic heart of it's no brand that I can see anywhere.
Oh.
It's just got a dog on the front of it and it says woof you.
Dog chocolate.
It's dog chocolate.
Woof you?
Woof you.
Woof you.
Woof you. And happy Valentine's Day. My only hope is that I don't get one that involves cherry, because when it comes to cherry chocolate, I cannot stand it. I'm going to throw this like a Frisbee since we didn't plan this part ahead of time. So, are you ready? Here it comes. Perfect. Couldn't have been better.
Not bad.
I'll wait to chomp into this one. Mine's got a nice vein on the top of it.
Oof.
That's
A
good.
Snickers vein?
Yeah, it's
I'm
like a Snickers vein.
gonna grab the one that I know is gonna be the worst, which is this dark chocolate brick.
Oh,
I know it's gonna be filled with something I don't want.
All right, I got
Okay.
two choices. I can go with a circle or a heart.
Or
Go
put
with
them
the heart.
both in your mouth at the same time,
I mean, okay.
which is oddly enough what one of my Spider-Man Valentine's cards said.
Okay, here goes this. Okay, what's yours? Is yours the vanilla cream?
Strawberry cream.
Oh, you dick. Okay.
It's strawberry cream.
I swear, if this is dark chocolate orange, I'm gonna.
I don't know. Mine's just a
Mine's
mishmash
not
of
good.
sweet,
Mine's not good.
chocolatey stuff.
Oh, it's not good. Where's something to throw? Where's something to throw the rest of it away?
Oh, wait. What shape is yours?
Square.
Okay, it was a perfect square. You got strawberry cream, sir. Austin,
If that's what you want to call it, sure.
I know exactly what I
you got orange cream.
Yeah, I hate orange cream.
I would have preferred that.
Dude, I had two of them.
It burns.
I got cocoa, truffle, and caramel.
You asshole.
Dude, it was so good.
Oh, I mean, I knew that my brick was going to be the worst. I honestly did, but I thought
won
it was
that.
going to be like one of those like jizz colored vanilla cream ones that I hate, and the only one I hate worse than that is the orange cream.
Yeah. Mine was like a bloody version of that. I think I would have rather had the orange cream
I had
for
a
sure.
great experience.
I bet you did.
I'm upset.
Next up is the ring pop, because as a kid, proposing to your Valentine with a ring pop for Valentine's Day is a classic move.
Did you do that?
Yeah, of course.
You can wear a ring around your finger. Ooh, ring pop. It's a juicy, cool flavor.
How old were you?
Ooh, ring pop.
22.
It's a lollipop without a stick.
And Austin said no, and then married his wife. Don't like it. Don't like suckers. I don't think I care for sugar much.
Yeah, I don't think you like sweet stuff.
I do not like it at all.
So maybe there's like a market for people like you, right? Where there's like savory Valentine's
Or
treats,
vegetables.
like beef jerky. Okay, well, yeah.
Or beef jerky. I like that.
See, but all you got to do
Sure works.
to like live your inner rave kid is just put a ring pop in your mouth and then just start making guttural noises with your throat because you put the ring pop in your mouth. And,
Want it. You sound like someone I need to be like helping revive soon. I don't want this anymore, so I'm going to put
of
it
all
away.
the green-colored watermelon-flavored things that I've had in my life, this is by far the sharpest.
Sharpest? Like,
had
because
a
I
piece-
feel like this raspberry, this is like the kind of like a Gatorade of candy right now.
Yeah,
But
this-
it's maybe because I just had this chocolate caramel explosion before.
So far, I've only had one enjoyable experience. Austin, you said you had a surprise one that I don't know about. I'm nervous.
All right, I've got the box over here on the table. These are everybody knows your favorite thing to eat around Valentine's Day and the holidays. Cordial cherries.
I love
Now,
chocolate
cordial cherries
cherries.
got an even better upgrade for those of you who love
Can you see this? Can you see my upper lip? I can't stop what it's the quivering that it has right now.
For those people who just love how much cherry flavor happens in those artificial little cherries in the center, they get an upgrade in cherry flavor because this is the Queen Anne Cordial Cherries Cherry Cola. Chocolate covered cherries.
What is cherry cola?
So it's extra cherry
Extra
flavor
cherry.
with artificial cola stuff.
Oh,
So we're
Lord.
gonna try these sumbitches out.
Real sugar or
Yes,
fake sugar?
straight up sugar. Sugar,
It's
like
just not like Splenda or whatever you call it.
My disappointment knows no bounds.
Maybe it is.
I already feel bad. I'm already sick.
Oh yeah, poor Dane. You look sad now.
I am sad. This is my. If you were to hand me any candy on the planet,
This is the one, but
this
it's
is
just
the
not the right
one
one.
that I hate.
Oh, that you hate.
don't know
Yes.
if I need
You don't like the
you,
original
but
either. Not even just the.
I'm down to try
It's not just the
that.
specifically cherry cola thing you're upset
Chicka
about.
cherry
It's
cola.
the whole thing in general.
Here you go, Dane. Catch one.
With your mouth, do it.
No. We'll all insert them and chomp them at the same
I
time.
don't want to do this. You know that, right? I wish I would have eaten the sardines that Tiny brought a while
catch.
back. Thank you. Good throw. I wish I would have eaten those instead of this. If I would have had a choice.
I'm going to set the box
This
down.
isn't a bit, by the way. I don't like these so much that I feel sick already thinking about it.
Wow.
This bottoms up.
You really
1, 2,
taking one
3.
for the team. Wait a minute.
Why?
Okay, so wait. Yeah, by cherry cola, it literally meant like cherry Coke.
It tastes like.
I could have looked at the box to realize that there's a glass of soda on it. It tastes like soda.
It's like you swallowed a bottle of perfume.
Oh, don't say that. Now it's changing and my mouth's different. Come on. Nope. Back to Coke. It was Coke.
Dane's gonna throw up.
There are so many ingredients. That was a lot. There's a lot going on in there. A lot of emulsifiers in here.
Oh, that was great. I'm gonna have more of those.
I'm so sorry.
I just think. Why do they?
No,
Why
I
do they?
didn't.
Why?
I didn't hate.
Why?
I'm conflicted.
I like it.
Should we rate them? Mm-hmm. Hot, stinking, fecal garbage. The cherry one that almost made me throw up.
Out of what though?
Every candy ever?
No, on a
the
scale.
ones on a scale.
Yeah,
like
from hot stinking garbage to immaculate.
to, well, I don't really care much for candy. Oh, good.
Okay.
Good. There. Just good.
So it didn't even get the good. Okay.
No.
Austin, what's your rating?
For the cherries, I would actually give them a, I don't know, somewhere in the middle of the road, because would I eat them again and buy them again? No. Will I enjoy them while they're here? Yes. So I would get them a solid middle of the road. So, yeah.
I'm going to go with middle of the road, like minus 20%, because I won't eat them again. I won't buy them. I probably won't eat any more that are sitting right next to me, but I'm not upset that I had one.
I don't feel good. I don't feel well. I felt great going into this. I feel legitimately bad on the inside.
All right.
I'm drinking this whole canteen of water.
What do you think about the Nerds Rope?
Nerds Rope wins for me. Nerds Rope. We just went from the. Actually, we started with the best.
Eat some more of that. Get that cola out of your
threw
palate.
it into the trash. Yeah, kind of done with it.
Smarties.
They were fine. They were fine. It's just the sugar, honestly. Yeah. Like I get a couple bites of it, and then I'm done with it. I'm over with it. But Nerds Rope, definitely the best out of everything that we had.
Yeah, no, I agree. It was. They killed it. Shout out to Willy Wonka and his team. They really delivered
of
this
slaves.
time. You know, we were really looking for something quality when it came to Valentine's Day candy, and Willy himself really just went down there and made sure that they put out a quality product. Yeah. So shout out to him and the Oompa Loompas, the whole crew.
The smart. Did you say how you like the Nerds Rope? Yeah. Was it your favorite of all of them?
No.
No?
My favorite was the cherries. Everything else was just candy. Those cherries.
The longer the aftertaste stays with me, the less I'm liking it.
Yeah, no, that's not what you're there for. You're there for that punch of, why does this taste like I've got a cherry Coke happening in my mouth?
With no carbonation, though.
Like, it's there.
The more I think about it, the worse it got.
Yeah.
Really in solidifying that I'm not going to eat another one, and now I'm kind of questioning if I liked the experience.
And I can tell you just from tasting that, if my grandmother was still alive, there would be a box with 3 of those eaten on her countertop at all points of the year.
And the rest still in the box.
And she would eat them. They would end up at that point always in her supply.
That's weird.
So not the same box. They would keep recycling, is what you're saying.
It has to. Otherwise, it just would magically stay good forever.
Right.
The Smarties to me, they don't really taste to me. It's more of like if sugar were colored and put into a little thing that looks like medicine. So I think that's down there. I don't know. The ring pop's pretty bad too. Oh, you just pop them? You just pop,
no,
pop
I
in Smarties?
And snort them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well,
no, I smoke them. Remember?
Tried that.
Oh yeah,
Smarties.
Yeah.
So I would put the ring pop and the Smarties down there, just at the bottom of the list. They're not hot stinking fecal garbage. They're just not any good.
I hate Smarties. They're hot stinking fecal garbage.
Really?
I hate them.
Wow.
I hate them.
I will eat more Smarties in my life. I probably won't eat any more of these in my life.
The cherry things? No, I never want to see that box again.
You want to know what happens in the near future? In the near future, Queen Anne ventures out into the cookies and cream realm, and they make cookies and cream filled cherry cordials. And you know who buys that?
Why do you got to put the cherry in there, though?
Because I like
Leave that out.
I like
Make a cookies and cream sweet little treat.
They already have those. They're called
Oreos?
Yeah, Oreo eggs.
Oh, yeah.
It's interesting they didn't partner with any cola companies. They just did their own. Like, this is not like a Coke branded thing or a Pepsi branded thing.
No.
They were just like, you know what? We got the stuff to make something taste like cola. And by God, we're going to do it.
They actually contacted Savage Garden to make sure they had the rights to those 2 words.
Chicka Cherry Cola.
There it is.
Yeah, you got it in there. What was left? The Hershey's Kiss. It's milk chocolate. It wasn't dark chocolate. It was just milk chocolate.
Is it even chocolate, though? That's the question.
No, I don't think so.
And automatically, I had to avoid things at the store because if you know something is good candy, it would not fit this segment.
Fair.
It wouldn't have fit it because I had to avoid all the extra creamy Dove chocolates that they exist. They're called extra creamy.
You know what you missed out on?
What?
Grape flavors.
They didn't have it. Grape flavored nothings.
Nothing? You looked?
Nothing for Valentine's Day.
Nothing Valentine's Day.
No, we tried to stay in the Valentine's theme.
Fair.
Speaking of Valentine's theme.
Yeah.
The idea of Valentine's, along with the candy and the different things that go into Valentine's Day, including romance. Think about it. What are some good romantic, team-ups that you might have?
Randy Savage and Miss Elizabeth.
Say Randy Savage.
Yeah,
I was
Randy Savage
wondering.
and Miss Elizabeth,
I was
yeah.
wondering if you were going to come out with a wrestling one for a.
Oh, I got a lot of those.
So okay,
Kane and
so,
Lita. No, that was a bad one, but
so what was your favorite thing about the matchup between Macho Man and who again? One more time.
what?
Not a
Miss
matchup.
Elizabeth, bro.
I know, not a matchup like they're
She's-
fighting, like they're together, like they're matched together. Miss Elizabeth. I'm sorry. Yeah, that's sacrilege.
Yeah, it really is. And I don't even want to touch on it because I'm so offended that you messed up. Because there's, in my opinion, I'm just kidding. But in my opinion, there is a more interesting story in wrestling lore when it comes to relationships.
Is it Sable and Vince
No,
McMahon?
it's Matt Hardy. It's a love triangle. Matt Hardy, Lita, and Edge. And if you follow the backstage drama growing up as a kid, this is my bread and butter. If you can see the camera, I have lots of wrestling tattoos, and I'm Stone Cold is hanging off of me.
The wolf would be very proud right now.
Yeah, so it apparently in real life, right? You had these two people playing these characters. Like maybe the dude's name is actually Matt Hardy. I don't know. Lita's name is not that. I met her at Comic-Con. You remember? You were there.
Yep.
Anyway, they were together in real life and on screen, right? So they blurred the lines.
Right.
And then in real life, the story goes that she had an affair with Matt Hardy with another wrestler. Edge. Right?
Uh-oh.
They're all working together, all coworkers, and guess what got turned into a TV storyline? And all these three people working on TV together, and they put some real life stuff and turned it into a storyline. And how professional do you have to be to work with the man, to wrestle with the man who just stole your girl? She cheated on you with this dude, and now you have to for those who don't know, wrestling's not real. I'm sorry. Excuse me. And you ideally,
spoiler alert!
I know,
Yeah.
sorry.
I have to
Ideally, you
bleep
want to
that.
protect the other guy, right? Because you're not trying to kill each other. But man,
Imagine-
how tough would it be to restrain yourself in that situation if you're gloves are off, brother? But that's an interesting one for me. Matt Hardy, Lita,
Got it.
Edge.
And
Because
because it
that's
was
a romantic
real.
triangle.
And-
Yeah, but it's a real thing that they turned into a storyline.
And is this from back when Edge still looked like he was out of the movie
this
Rockstar?
before he retired. Yeah,
I like that's like
I mean, it might be
real
obscure
thing.
if you don't know wrestling, but it's a big wrestling story.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking like something that wasn't, the art, like totally artificial, like the.
No, dude, that could, but I think that's why that was the best one. I mean, you can talk about. Well, they did that a lot though. Triple H and Stephanie.
Well, they had a lot of stuff, and I mean, the McMahons were always revolving around a lot of this, this made up drama that was, within the WWF,
Right.
And Sable was a character that was a female character at that time that was more of like your Pamela Anderson kind of depiction style character, blonde bombshell kind of idea, big fake boobs and all that.
Yeah.
One of my favorite things of all time ever said by a wrestling announcer was the King talking about Sable's boobs, and there you go, right off the dome, the puppies. It's just, you can't say it once, you got to say it twice. The puppies. And for a little short amount of time, she was like in this subservient,
Yeah, it was odd.
this.
But that's the thing. That Mr. McMahon's character was very he had a lot of those storylines with various
several.
women that he employed.
Yeah.
So that's an odd.
Yeah,
that's
there's
really-
probably some
really-
not good in
well,
there mixed in with.
Yeah, well, if you
yeah.
Google Vince McMahon right now, he's in this whole thing with the hush money and
Vince McMahon would pay somebody hush money.
Yeah, right.
Oh my God!
Anyway.
No way.
all my references are going to come from wrestling.
That's,
for this,
see,
so.
all mine are from comics, basically.
Yeah,
because
Mary Jane and Spider Man.
Yeah.
and that. But
Or
he
Gwen.
also.
What's your favorite, Gwen or Mary Jane?
Well, and there's also Black Cat too.
Oh, yeah, that's
because he's had some relationships there. I think Mary Jane
She
is
wears the pants in that one.
the classic one. Mary Jane or Black
no,
Cat?
no, Black Cat.
Oh, yeah, for
between
sure.
Peter or Spider Man and Black Cat, she's
Yeah.
he's
Oh, yeah.
like.
But I think it's hard to beat the Mary Jane Peter Parker relationship.
Yeah.
Just them two, they just work together, and she puts up with him being who he is, and it's the classic superhero having to protect the loved ones and your someone that you have special to you, and having to do that while also being a superhero
Right.
makes your job so much harder, because as soon as a villain knows
Yeah.
who you love, That's who they go after.
Exactly.
They don't have the same
Toby knew that.
rules. They don't have the same rules that the heroes have, so they can go after those. And yeah, really bad things can happen.
Yep. And, shit. I mean, Toby knows that firsthand.
Yeah, I mean, anybody that, like May, Ben, love interests throughout most of the Spider-Man stories.
Yeah, anyone, any superhero that has a relationship with any other person is in danger. That person is more in danger. So we have the situation, like, spoiler alert, in the most recent Spider-Man movie, Far From Home.
Spoiler alert. Okay, now you've had enough time.
I'll give the
No Way Home.
No Way Home.
No Way Home, that was the one. No Way Home, we see that Spider-Man, the world no longer knows his identity. They don't know who Peter Parker is.
Yeah.
So
man's got to go get like a GED. There's no record of Peter Parker.
No, he's nowhere. So we see Zendaya, which plays Mary Jane, and then his best friend, the guy who's in the
MJ,
chair.
Her name's Michelle Jones.
MJ, yeah, MJ. But he decides not to introduce himself and to tell them what had happened, and pretty much lets their entire history go because he knows they're safer without him. So he's going to have this heartbreak and this anguish going on, but those that he loves are safer now.
And they got into MIT.
They did. Yeah. They got in together.
Yep. And so they're getting to move on without him, and he's going to have to go his own direction. And that's going to, I think that's going to put him into a tighter, like, I have to focus on being Spider-Man kind of position.
Yeah, there literally is no Peter Parker. He's the only one that knows that he exists.
Yeah, it's only Spider-Man.
Yeah.
But maybe I don't know if Tom Holland's going to continue to be Spider-Man or not. I think he's kind of done with it.
That's what I don't know if that's like a throw-off rumor or...
Right. But
I've also seen that maybe he's like signed on for 3 more anyway already. I don't know.
Oh, wow.
I don't know.
He's done such a great job as a fan.
I hope he stays on.
I want to be selfish and have him stay on.
Dude, I hope he has a whole nother trilogy.
But this would lead to him being able for them to introduce Black Cat and to show a different type of relationship with him with another superhero.
True.
So where the differences in how that relationship works.
Yeah, but you want to see him figure out how to get Zendaya back.
Oh, yeah, but
right?
I think that's where it would wrap around to. I think he would try the other route and realize, no.
Maybe. He sees that Zendaya is doing okay, so he's just trying to get her out of his head. Okay.
Yeah, I think that would be a good, just like they always play with the Black Cat, Mary Jane thing. It's a push and pull thing with Peter. Yeah. So, but that's kind of for me, that's the stereotypical Marvel relationship for me, because I know you have like Tony Stark and Pepper Potts, and then there's Captain America and what's her name from back in the day, Carter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those don't hit as much for me, but I think that's just because I've followed Spider-Man so much more closely. One that does with Marvel hit me, though, is Cyclops.
Mary Jane.
Not Mary Jane. No.
Jean Grey.
Jean Grey. Cyclops and Jean Grey, because there's also that triangle with Wolverine. But he's kind of the weird one that's standing outside of it, looking in, just trying to get his way in there.
It makes me think like back to the X-Men 97 style cartoons, to where they'd always have like Jean and Scott like kissing, and then Wolverine just being, like walking like walking by, just
watching,
just that noise he would always be making, just
upset.
Yeah, that was always a relationship that I thought it was funny because Wolverine was involved with it. Mm-hmm. I think without that aspect of it, without the triangle thing, I don't think it would have been as entertaining.
Yeah,
to me.
And they had that in the X-Men movies too, where Wolverine was like,
"Oh yeah,
totes mad about Jean Grey."
Oh yeah,
and Scott was just like, "I have laser eye and stay away from my girl."
Hey, in that similar stratosphere, Deadpool, he really has a ride or die in those movies. What's his Ryan Gosling?
Ryan Reynolds?
Ryan Reynolds. Oh my God, yeah, Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan Gosling?
Yeah, it's all right. Shut up.
That'd be funny if he showed up.
Yeah, dude, his girl in those movies, they're like this.
Oh yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Super tight. But I think in the comics, I think Deadpool doesn't he marry Death? I think there was an issue
about Deadpool.
Lady Death?
Yeah, I think so.
Deadpool's got a few different exploits
of Deadpool, yeah.
Right. Let's see. The most classic DC-wise is, Superman and Lois, right?
Lois Lane,
I think they are the quintessential, comic book couple, because it still represents Superman, that relationship with her. because he is as pure and honest as he can be. He is Superman, literally could have any being on the planet,
True.
super or not, and yet he chooses Lois, and she is like his rock, like his connection to humanity, more so than anybody else. So it's a very Superman relationship, and I think they did a really good job of having that be kind of one of the oldest known, I think, of comic book heroes. Person without superpowers being in a relationship with a superhero.
And it shows one of the darkest points in Superman history whenever Lois is killed. Because in the Injustice Gods Among Us kind of story arc, Lois Lane is killed by the Joker.
Yes.
And Superman comes unhinged and kills the Joker in return for...
Yes. He shoves his hand through his chest to burst his heart out of his back.
See, I'm sorry to say, I just was never a DC guy. Does Batman have a love interest, or is that just nothing they ever
Batman has a few.
touched on? Okay.
Talia al Ghul.
He has a child with Talia al Ghul. So Batman and Talia, they have Damian Wayne, which is a Robin, and the only Robin that's actually his birth son. Yeah.
Which version? Is this a comic version?
Comic and soon to be film, because Batman Brave and the Bold, from what I've heard, I don't know.
It's going to focus. It's what
Robert Pattinson?
No.
They're following up.
No.
They're doing it again?
Different one.
It's the James Gunn. It's the James Gunn verse that he's going to be making. So James Gunn said that it's going to be Brave and the Bold, focused on Batman, Bruce Wayne, and his son Robin, who is Damian.
So is I haven't seen the Robert Pattinson movie. Is that not going anywhere else, or they're just going to be two?
It's a standalone universe by itself.
Yeah, they're going to have the Batman 2 though. That's already going to happen. So there will be a Robert Pattinson Batman 2.
There's a lot of reboots and a lot of different
It's a mess,
tellings.
man.
Yeah,
It's
and
a
there are
mess.
3 Spider-Man. Miles Morales makes 4. At least, well, they've hinted
least.
it. They've hinted at Miles and
across the Spider-Verse. I mean, there's an unlimited amount of Spider-Man.
Yeah, exactly.
But Batman doesn't just have Talia; he also has Selena Kyle, Catwoman, which their relationship
that's right.
is very Batman, because it shouldn't be what it is. I mean, she's a criminal.
Yeah. Okay.
He's into it. It's the bat and the cat.
Yeah.
But so while Superman has the basically the vanilla relationship of just him and Lois, Batman has this thing with Selena to where, I mean, he is attracted to crime. He cannot leave it alone.
Right.
He is drawn to it. He feels like he must. And whenever you have a person dressed up like a cat and has a whip and is Catwoman, he can't resist that, apparently.
Yeah, and if you watch a certain...
Clearly he's into dressing up and that whole thing. And
oh, yeah.
If you watch a certain animated movie, I think it's the Killing Joke.
Oh, no.
He also has a love interest for Barbara Gordon, apparently, if you watch that only one time in an animated...
Is this like Commissioner Gordon's girl or something?
Commissioner Gordon's daughter looks to Batman like a father figure, and then they have sex under the watchful gaze of a gargoyle at night.
No.
And she's like...
You don't want to know about this.
Young. Like, she's like between 18 and 20, I think, in that story. I don't know. She's really young. And Batman is grown man Batman.
Yep.
And it's not in the comic. The Killing Joke comic does not have this relationship. There's not even a hint of it there. Huh. And in the animated film, they decided, let's sex it up a bit. And the first...
Somebody was just really horny.
Yeah.
It's the wolf's favorite scene of that movie.
Oh, no. He's not here to defend himself.
It doesn't matter. He can defend himself post-podcast because that's what I need for engagement on our Twitter.
He will fight you. But, so, yeah, the first, 30 minutes of that movie, I think, pretty much, you can skip it all together because then it gets into the actual story of it. Because the Joker kidnaps Barbara and all this stuff, trying to get Jim Gordon involved with it. It's a mess. It's actually pretty gross.
Sounds like, pretty, no.
It's messed up. But even more messed up is the fact that they had them two bang it out at the beginning of this movie, and no one understood it. People that actually have read the comic, and probably people that didn't even read the comic, they just saw it and it's like, this is weird. I don't like this at all.
Yeah, it made you really sit there and just kind of go like, huh? Why is this... Okay.
All right, moving
on. Yeah, it was not. It's like you didn't belong there.
Another one that's a superhero and a normie is Diana Prince, which is Wonder Woman, and Steve Trevor. That's another situation of
DC. I don't know.
Yeah,
It's not
super.
my league.
I mean, Wonder Woman, Amazonian, and Steve Trevor's just a guy that was in the war.
Okay.
But there's a few different ways that they meet. But
Talking about landing somebody out of your league, huh?
Oh, absolutely.
Like Thor and Jane Foster.
Yes, that's another one where Jane Foster, until she becomes the mighty Thor, while she has cancer, and the only thing keeping her alive is Mjolnir, Thor's hammer. Like the way they do it in the comics and the way they did it in Love and Thunder, the movie, not super off from one another because they're both the same story, to where she's going to die from a natural disease. Or cancer is considered disease. Yeah, what is that considered? It's its own. I'm not a doctor. I don't know.
Thing.
Man. My initials are Dr. H, but that means nothing.
Thing.
On that topic, and I'm going to bring Spider-Man back up again.
Okay.
But there is a graphic novel. I can't remember the name of it, but it's Old Man Spider-Man, Old Man Peter. What the hell is that?
Oh.
You know what I'm talking about? It tells the story of an old Peter Parker. I'm talking he's like 60, 70.
Okay.
And I shit you not, you can Google it, that Mary Jane in this telling of this story died because of Peter Parker's radioactive
No.
love juices.
No. What?
His
Are you
semen.
serious?
Yeah, she got like cancer or something. I think it was cancer in this telling of the story from having sex with Peter Parker, and he's radioactive.
That sucks!
Who thought about that?
My phone's recording the thing. Pull that up. Type in Old Man Peter.
That's
Jamie.
something that we joke about.
Old Man Spider-Man. No, it's a real graphic. My buddy in high school, Sam, shout out to Sam Arnold, he was reading it, and I was like, what the f*** is this? He's like, yeah, Mary Jane dies from Peter Parker's radioactive jizz. What? That's no way that's real, and it is. Look.
They let that
there it is,
through
right there, Austin.
the writer's room.
Yeah.
They decided this is a good idea.
That looks like a Marvel. Oh no, that's a wiki like a fan wiki website. But at any rate,
Who do you trust?
nobody. DTA, don't trust anybody. Stone Cold said so. Yeah, there's the cover. That's it. You're on it.
That's something that, sure, saying a little side note of, it makes her tummy hurt or something. It makes her feel weird.
Yeah, well, no, I mean the cover is
killing her.
The cover is Peter Parker as Spider-Man, I think, with like a ripped up suit, like on her gravestone, like kind of sulking over her gravestone. There you go, Austin. You can read.
Is he holding his junk in his hand? Like, why have you done this?
Oh my God! I mean, it's straight up. This is on Wiki Fandom.
I wasn't lying to you guys.
This is Wiki
This is a real
Fandom
printed-
Marvel database. Wiki Fandom Marvel database history. Many years into the future, Peter Parker is now an old man who has retired from being Spider-Man and works in a flower shop.
Yep, he works at a flower shop.
Mary Jane Watson has died from exposure to radioactivity due to Peter's radioactive semen.
That's real.
I wasn't bullshitting
It's an
you, dude.
Elseworld story, right? Because it's a future thing but who, I don't know.
It's Earth. What does it say? Earth 70237.
70237 70,000. That's crazy.
That's insane. I've
but
never heard of that before.
honestly, if that could happen to any of the Spider-Man, it would probably happen to Toby Spider-Man. That just seems
Probably.
like a very
He's
Yeah.
a very tragic.
That's a
that
very
seems
Toby
right, yeah.
move for sure.
like, no, I'm fine. I married Mary Jane. I love Mary Jane. She's alive.
Yeah.
Another one from DC that you may not be familiar with, Josh, is Hal Jordan and Carol Ferris. I'm sure you have no idea who
don't
Carol
even know.
Ferris is.
Yeah.
Yeah, she is a lantern of the Sapphire
Okay.
lanterns, and he's a Green Lantern. But before she was a lantern, they had their relationship together, and then she becomes a lantern of the Sapphire Corps.
And Carol,
This is what their name is, but
and she's been in 2 DC movies.
Does it color? Do they cover the color spectrum? Like, is there a
Yes.
blue lantern and a purple lantern?
there's one for each color of the spectrum, including white and black.
And
too.
Vol's orange.
Just life, which is Larfleeze.
Avarice,
Titans
Avarice.
two-tone blue, baby.
greed.
But her whole reason for being a Sapphire is because of their falling out of their relationship, because of what love did to her, and the power that their abilities come from is love, where green is will, and then blue is hope, red is rage, yellow is fear, blah blah blah.
Rage.
Yes, the reds are awesome, but
Bad guys or good guys?
Anti-hero.
Anti-hero.
Got it.
Yeah,
Okay.
but pretty much they're more baddies than goodies, but anti-hero at times. They had to work together
Badass.
before. Yes.
Yeah, the song about sexy babies.
I'm sorry?
Taylor Swift, Anti-Hero. It has a line in there about sexy babies.
That's
I don't know.
weird.
I don't read.
Oh, that's weird.
I don't read into things enough.
But yeah, so that in that situation, Carol Ferris, someone who didn't have powers, her relationship with Hal Jordan and the falling apart of it and everything, that ended up causing her to be able to join this Lantern Corps because they sought her out because of the love that she had lost and how much she had for it.
Okay.
Another Lantern, Kyle Rayner, his relationship ended with his girlfriend being killed, and he found her in his fridge
Wow.
at home, dead. And then that was awful.
Imagine.
That's real bad.
Don't
That's
imagine
one of those like where the superhero's relationship went south. So,
Oh yeah.
oof.
Big time south.
Now, I mean, there's a lot of tragedy in a lot of different kinds of relationships and things you see on screen, but I'm going to jolt into a little bit of my section for a section.
Please.
For a section of the podcast, for my section that I like. It's anime. I really
okay.
like anime. And I'm going to let you know a little bit about this anime stuff. First off, here's one that I like a lot for the main relationship in the entire anime. This is a show called Love After World Domination. Mm-hmm. And this is basically an anime telling of a Power Rangers story. You've got the main bad guys being this headquarters of bad guys that are all out to, dominate the world. And then you've got the good guys that are, of course, like your teenagers and stuff that transform into the Sentai, like the Super Power Rangers stuff. And the love affair that happens in the show is between the leader, the Red Ranger, and the main princess of the bad guys.
Princess bad guy.
So it's like Rita Repulsa, except add jiggle physics.
And Jason.
Kind of thing.
Red Ranger.
And it's a very cute story. I like this a lot. It shows them going out on dates, and they're having to have their dates crammed into while like these big battles and stuff are going on, and they go off to fight each other because they're the strongest of their crews. So they go off to have these one-on-one battles, and they're like having tea parties and sharing sandwiches. And then somebody will show up to where they'll have to like be at each other's throats. And she didn't pull a punch one time and actually like clocked him, and he was like emotionally wounded by that. Like I can't. But then later on he had some time to let it sink in, and he like really respected that because he trained so hard. He's like, she didn't pull her punch for me.
It was good enough. Like that alone, that idea of the leader of the good guys and the leader of the bad guys having a secret relationship while they're still fighting one another was enough to hook me. Like that was the hook for that thing. And that's not something that's explored a whole lot, I don't think.
Speaking of
I'm
anime,
sure it's around.
it's this is not a it's not a romantic thing, but some people are weird about it. But speaking of the leaders, the leaders of the good and the bad in Death Note, right? Mm-hmm. L is the leader of the good who is working with and also simultaneously fighting Light, who's the top of the bad.
Right.
It's an interesting relationship, but where I was really going with that is Light and Misa. She is just a crazy, psychotic, like she will do anything for that man.
Yes.
Have you seen Death Note? Everybody's seen Death Note, right?
Oh yeah, don't watch the movie.
No. I've seen
the live action.
I've seen like. Well, so I will say, genius casting, Willem Dafoe. Only good thing else for Ryuk. Yeah, only good. I haven't seen it, but I don't want to.
It's
from
awful.
what I've seen of
awful.
it.
Now
it looks awful. But Willem Dafoe as Ryuk, that's cool shit.
Yeah.
Now, branching off of Love After World Domination, there is a third party involved in the love affair, though.
I didn't know this.
She is the Pink Ranger.
Okay.
Oh,
yes, I did know this.
And the Pink Ranger only joined the Force because she wanted to become closer to the Red Ranger because she idolized him so much and she was in love with him secretly. Mm-hmm. And so she's just doing her best to try to win his affection and show how much she loves him, all the same time while he's oblivious to everything she's doing because he's so distracted by how much he's in love with the main bad girl. Mm-hmm. So that's actually a common trope in anime. And we discuss tropes and stuff and try to let people know what things are. But it's a weird genre. But it's not to be confused with something different here. It's called unwanted harem. is what this genre is called. And that's when you have a, like this, your hero of the story that's just so heroic and noble and pure that he or she, it's been both ways, he or she, like just draws attention of everybody around them, and they will just want to be with them constantly. Not even just like in a sexual way, like they just want to be a part of everything that they're doing. Like, what are you eating? What are you reading? What are you, where are we going now? It's just like everybody's a puppy.
Mm-hmm. But they're oblivious to even the people that are like wanting them physically and just in a relationship. Like they're just fawning over the main character, and the main character is like completely oblivious to any of that. Right?
Yep. And the thing is too, like the best side points of it are seeing like the people on the outside of this looking in on him, and all the guys are just like openly envying everything that's going on with them. And it's part of the trope. It's like it literally says it's comically missing the point that the person is in an enviable situation. Mm-hmm. So
yeah, that's in a lot of anime.
So many animes. But there are other good animes as well. If you want to get into other ones too, we've talked about Mobile Suit Gundam before. Mm-hmm. There's one called the 8th OS Team. It's one that happened early on in the Gundam kind of storylines. It was from 1996. And in the 96 anime, it revolved around Ensign Shiro Amada and Officer Rain from the... I'm thinking it's like Char. What's his name? Char from the original.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, the guy with the red suit in space that was going against the Gundams, basically. Okay. So, but it was on his team, and he was on the Gundam team, and they, had fought each other out on the field, and they had to survive in the wilderness in this anime because they were, they got, both their suits were wrecked. They were both kind of injured, and then they kind of fell in love and helped each other survive, and it was just a very good love story revolving around the wars of the giant mechs.
Oh, cool.
So it was really cool, really different take on stuff, because most of the time it's just Gundam battle, Gundam battle, Gundam battle. I've got a Gundam upgrade, now I've got this, da-da-da-da. Mm-hmm. But this was just a really good love story revolving around that. Then let's see, one more here just to mention my favorite love story of all time in anime, and that is going to be Sword Art Online between Kirito and Asuna. Now, in Sword Art Online, of course, you've got these people that are playing a full dive RPG online. That basically means you put on a headset, your entire consciousness is sucked into this game where you would will your body to move, you would be living in this game. Well, they have a death option on this game that gets forced upon them. They can't log out, they're trapped in this game, and they fall in love in game. And in game, they keep each other alive. They go through some very sweet moments, like it's awesome, and they build upon this love story the entire time, because and they both build it off of a survivor mentality, because they're both involved in the same tragic instance that's happening to everybody, where they got trapped
together, bro.
It's they call it the death game. Mm-hmm. Because so many people, because if you died in the game, you could not log out. You had to beat, the only way that the people would be released is if they beat the last tower boss at the top level of the tower, which was 100 floors. And nobody had gotten past 14 in the beta trial. So it's crazy.
Yeah.
But the show itself, Asuna and Kirito, it's such a good anime. Gosh, if you don't watch anime, watch Sword Art Online. It's entry level, but it's so good.
What's the incentive to put the headset on if you know you're signing up for?
You didn't.
You didn't.
Once they were in the game is whenever that was announced to them by the developer in game.
Yeah, because what he did was he hijacked the chips that were inside of all of the nerve gear, and it had a microwave blocker in the back of it that would keep electricity and stuff from actually getting towards like your brain with the radiation and everything that would be surrounding you. Okay. It would turn that off and concentrate it, and it would zap your brain if you tried to die. If you died in the game.
And the first, I guess, season or arc of Sword Art Online is a fantasy setting, so like swords, dragons, monsters. The second one is a more modern take with like guns and stuff, right?
Yes, because after they, in Sword Art Online, after they, get logged out and they beat the game, it continues on to show them playing, going and investigating deaths in real life that are occurring in a different game, but it's happening in a different way. It's like a serial killer or a murderer is actually getting into these games and killing the people that are actually killed in the online combat. So it's like you're playing a game like Overwatch, except you're in the full dive to where you're controlling your character. And when you would die by this specific character in the game who would kill you, this specific user, then you would die in real life.
They would find you in real life and kill you in real life?
Yes.
That's how that worked? Okay,
yes.
Gotcha. Because I knew it went beyond just the fantasy setting. It moved on to other stuff.
Yeah.
I just didn't watch past that fantasy.
Oh, man, and
series.
there was a bunch of shit, and then so much stuff continued to happen, like, all throughout. And then there was a whole different other version to where they had an artificial intelligence that they had to go into that's what the Alicization was all about. There's an artificial intelligence they were trying to cultivate to actually implant it to a human body. The show's incredible. You should watch
Not a sponsor.
Sword Art Online coming from me, because I said.
Now, we've talked a lot about relationships between characters as far as like romantic relationships. But what is romance? It is a feeling of excitement and mystery associated with love, and also a quality or feeling of mystery, excitement, and remoteness from everyday life. So when we think of bromance, which is just romance, but guys are afraid to say that, so it's like you got to bro it up to where, a bromance, to where two guys are just
homies.
So close of friends that it's like they would choose them over any other loved one, kind of a thing. There are some really good bromances as well within nerd culture.
Oh,
and one of my favorites is the obvious, the upfront, the one that I would say, which is Superman and Batman, because they respect one another, but they don't exactly always like what the other one is doing.
Yeah,
I almost said they don't trust one another, but they do. They trust one another with everything, but at the same time, they know the potential that the other has, and that scares them. So they keep each other in check.
How would Superman be afraid of Batman?
Because honestly, Batman...
He's a crazy person.
Batman's a crazy person. He's just on the
superpowers.
But he knows how to kill everybody.
Yeah. He knows how to kill the whole Justice
Superman
League.
can look at somebody with his laser eyes and just melt your brain, bro.
But Batman has had plans. Whenever the Justice League was created, he had made plans of how he could kill each of them if they got out of control. All right. And Superman trusts him with this kryptonite bullet. Like he knows he has it, and he trusts him with it because he's like, that's the only thing that can stop me. Right. But then someone else was like, in the Justice League, I forget which character. I think this was from the animated series, but there's a couple different versions of the story. But they asked Batman, they're furious because they didn't know Batman was doing this, of making all these different files on all of them on how to defeat them. And they were like, well, what about you? Like, we don't know what to do with you. And he's like, well, that's why the Justice League exists. Like, you are all here to take me down if you have to. Yeah. And he knows that they can and will if they have to. So it's this, like, the whole Justice League is there to take him down, but if he wanted to, he could eliminate all of them. Yeah. And so that's a neat, like, just that relationship of Batman and Superman is just really cool, and it sucks that the movie, they did a lot of it really well. The fact that they didn't like one another makes sense because they both do things so differently, and what Batman can see that Superman, a god among men, what he's capable of, and seeing what Zod did to their whole metropolis, he doesn't trust Superman, and then Superman hears that there's this mass vigilante that's scaring people to the point of maybe not doing bad. He hates that too. But the whole Martha thing with the movie, which is just like, how do you know that name? Like, I get it. I get it because no one knows that Batman is Bruce Wayne and his mama's name is Martha, and so is Superman's Earth mother's name is Martha Kent. But the way they executed it, terrible. But the idea behind it is really good. And it just sucked that they did that way. Because that's what a lot of people think now. Whenever they think Batman and Superman, the first thing you hear out of a lot of people's mouths, Martha! And it sucks that they did that to it. But Batman also has these relationships with the Robins, like all of these basically adopted children of his, to where he's created them as part of a family, like created these Robins, and he's putting these children who've been in terrible situations into danger with him. He still feels that is the safest place for them to be.
Yeah, that's why he likes orphans so much, because you don't have to sign a parental consent form if you ain't got no parentals.
Exactly.
Absent parentals. Good. You can skip the waiver. Here's a suit. Nice. You like grappling hooks, right?
Here's 2.
Oh, don't forget your cape.
And your bow staff.
We got to protect your identity. You better put a blindfold on.
Yes. No guns, though. No guns.
Yeah, no guns.
But Damien, he gets a sword.
Yeah, good luck taking it from him.
Yeah, he get it from Damien. Sticking with Batman, we've already had all these. Batman's got a lot of relationships. The Joker.
I was going to say his relationship with the Joker is very interesting, especially the fact that Batman won't kill anybody.
Right. And the Joker will go to any measure to get Batman to kill him, and he won't do it.
Exactly.
And they both exist because the other exists.
They need each other to both exist.
Yes. And that is one of the biggest relationships in comics.
Yeah. It's just like Eddie Brock and Venom.
Well, it's a symbiotic relationship there because it's a symbiote.
I mean, it's pretty similar to the way that both works, because, I mean, the Joker would have no drive to do the things that he does to try to piss off Batman
Eddie
so
Brock
badly.
was nothing before.
Yeah, but man, I like the movies, the Venom movies with Tom Hardy.
I haven't seen those.
Oh, man.
But you can spoil them. It's fine.
Honestly, they're just entertaining. I don't give a shit if it matches anything that goes in a comic book. I'm entertained by this movie, and I was entertained by the Carnage movie too. I mean, I've seen so much stuff with Carnage and Venom because they're some of the best, not Batman, but Spider-Man superheroes. Like, they're villains. I liked the relationship between Venom and Eddie. Like, the way that they talk to each other, the way that he's like, Eddie, I'm hungry. And he's like, well, I'll get you something. I don't want that. And he's like, well, what do you want? I don't know. Pick something. he's like, I already offered you this, but that's not what I want.
I guess I need to watch these.
It's actually pretty great, because he's like, you can't eat people. You can't eat people. You have to eat something else. But Eddie.
They're another balance, right? I
Yes.
mean, Eddie keeps Venom from, becoming an ultimate evil and killing humanity.
And his anti-hero essence is because he lets Venom eat the bad people.
Yes. If he didn't do that, he'd just be another superhero.
So you're saying if I can beat them, I can eat them? Yes, they're bad. We got to beat them.
A romance that people do not need to be praising in comics, that everybody just loves so much and wants it in their life too. Joker and Harley Quinn.
Ooh, yeah, that's a toxic relationship.
It's awful.
Horribly
it's
toxic.
awful.
Yeah.
She's in the what's it called whenever you got somebody in a situation?
Stockholm
syndrome.
Yeah.
With the Joker, and he's able to get in her head.
Yep.
And they have
It's
manipulative. It's awful. It's abusive, like physically abusive. You see it throughout the whole thing.
Yep.
But it's this weird. The way they've spun it is, it's romantic.
Yeah, I know.
They're
People
both
are,
crazy.
Fetishize it.
Yes,
Yeah.
they're both these crazy people who love each other so much. But the Joker would hand her
trashy.
over to be killed in an instant,
Yeah.
like if it meant he got to survive.
Yeah.
Yep.
So. And yet people are always like, I'm just looking for my Joker, or I'm just looking for my Harley. And I'm
Gross.
like, it's great that
might
you
find
want
them at
love.
Walmart.
But that's, maybe deep in the bowels of Walmart.
Well, we are from the South, though, so if somebody is looking for their Harley, like, they might be just wanting to get into the culture of the motorcycle.
The motorcycle.
You know,
the
freedom.
frame.
I don't want to be confined by a cage and protection and airbags and shit.
Yeah. And I wish we weren't confined by an hour, but, we kind of are.
We set our own constraints and we adhere.
We adhere to
Yep.
those constraints. Thank you for joining us on this lovely episode of Nerded Through the Grapevine.
Valentine's.
Yes.
Love. Grapes.
All of it comes together
This is
perfectly.
fascinating.
Whether you listen to us on Spotify, iTunes, Good Pods, Castbox, blah, 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 all of those, continue doing so, please. We really appreciate it. And if you could give us 5 stars, Spotify doesn't let you say anything about it. Just give the 5 stars there. And on iTunes, it does let you say something about it. So if you want to say something good with those 5 stars, do it. If you want to say something bad with the 5 stars, do that too. Don't care. And also, there's a link to Redbubble. go in there, buy clothing that has our stuff on it. It's cool.
It's cold outside, and you need
cold.
warmth.
You need 2 layer. Buy 7 shirts. Put them all on at once.
you can do
will
that.
stay warm with our embrace.
And if you would like to get on any of our social media platforms, you can look up at Nerd Grapevine on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And you can be involved with some of the conversations we have on there. A lot of sharing. We're getting into the idea of the reels and the videos. So we're going to give you little snippets of our funny faces, because it's not like we're making funny faces. We were born with funny faces. So, hopefully you enjoy the content, because we're going to keep putting it out there, whether you want it or not. We are the golden corral of podcast content now.
It's a little bit of everything.
We're just going to keep shoveling it at you until you got to go get a special quest from the dude sitting next to the bathroom.
And there's people puking in the bathroom. And
Oh, yeah. It's rough.
And you can also donate a little bit to the cause by getting on Patreon, looking up Nerd Grapevine. You get a shiny holographic sticker. You'll be admired by us forever. You're going to have content available on there that wasn't originally available to anybody else, before everybody else is able to get it. So, and this is typically the time to where I will transfer ownership of the talkie.
Discord.
There it is.
To Tiny. Tiny runs the Discord, basically.
Tiny does run the Discord. So if you would like to, there's a description down below the video or down below the audio link. Yeah. Just click it for the Discord.
just join.
Just
We do.
join.
Yeah. Right now, we're playing D&D in the Discord with a couple of fans, and it's a lot of fun. Our buddy John Lamb has been a fan for a while now, and he's doing great in this D&D campaign. So we do things like that. Tiny's also in the past watched a movie with people too.
Nice.
So you can get on there and just have fun with us and interact. It's a lot of fun. Our friend DT from Space Castle's on there
Watch
too.
WrestleMania. and
He's
that.
great. Oh, that'd be perfect. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
YouTube?
Yeah, we also have a YouTube.
Yeah,
Oh,
games
and
on there.
when you check us out on Discord, we are on there live, uncut, uncensored, and irrevocably circumcised.
Wow.
Got it.
Yeah.
Barely, but you got it.
Yeah, irrevocably. That's
Yeah.
a hard
Well.
word.
I know.
Yeah.
Austin.
I'm impressed.
No.
Austin.
Yes.
We made Josh do it last week, so I'm going to make you do it this week. This Valentine's Day, when life gives you grapes, what are you going to do with them?
I send them to Queen Anne.
Turn them into some
And Queen Anne
grape
takes those
soda.
Queen Anne takes those grapes and she harvests their very essence to create a grape soda flavor to go on the outside of the grape.
Now wait, is there a cherry inside with
No.
a grape flavoring?
There better not be. If it's only grape, I'm cool with it.
And thus introduces her line of Queen Anne chocolate-covered grapes.
Yes.
Grape soda flavored.
Because if she ever makes another cherry-covered chocolate soda candy, I will find this queen and I will dethrone her in any way I can.
And I'll
I
shove them in
still
her
feel
butt.
like I'm going to throw up. Still, it's been an hour.